Good morning, y'all. Happy MLK Day. How is everybody doing? Hello to all of my replay viewers. Just stopping by to say hello. It is a beautiful, crisp, Monday in Atlanta, Georgia. It's about 30 degrees. And I have a quick story. I'm sure the majority of you already know this story. And do you all like my shirt? Miss Meetza Henry did it, commemorating Martin Luther King, which is special to my heart because I am a product of the movement. The reason I say that is I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. And I was raised with my mom and dad. I've been blessed to have two sets of parents. So my parents that raised me from a year old on up. My dad, Herbert Clark, was actually a sanitation worker in the movement when Dr. King was assassinated. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And so I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm a product of the movement. So when Dr. King was assassinated, I was 3 years old. And I vaguely remember some of the things during that time. But my dad, Herbert Clark, that raised me, he was one of the gentlemen that would hold up the I am a man sign. And one thing about my dad is he was the smartest man that I know with an 8th grade education. Now, a lot of you may not know this when if you grew up with me, but my dad had multiple businesses. I guess that's kind of where I get it from a little bit. But he was a sanitation worker by night. So he would go to work at night, all night long. And in the daytime, he would take him a little nap when he got back home. And my mom, she was a, William A. Clark, she was a stay-at-home housewife when I came along because they adopted me. I didn't find out I was adopted till I was 30 years old. That's a whole nother life. But it's been a blessing because I was blessed with 2 mamas, 2 daddies, all of that. But anyway, getting back to this. But he was an entrepreneur at heart, and he had an electrician shop in the back of our home. He had built him a shop. I call it his man cave because he actually, I don't think he may have had a TV back there, but it was outside, but it was encased. And he worked on people's appliances, like he worked on irons, you know, not microwave ovens. We didn't have those back then, but like convection ovens, things of that nature. Thank y'all for joining. Say hey. But and another, so with an 8th grade education, how did he have the mindset to fix appliances? How did he know what the plus and the minus was, and the this was and the that was? But he did. On top of that, he was a loan shark. Good morning, Janet. He was a long shot. Happy MLK Day. I'm a product of the MLK movement. My dad that raised me, he was a sanitation worker in Memphis, Tennessee during the time Dr. King was assassinated in 1968. And I was 3 years old, and I still have memories of that time. But to get back to my dad, who was a sanitation worker by night, I think he was a sanitation worker for over 20, 30 years, whatever. But he was a serial entrepreneur, and he was also a loan shark, y'all. I remember this. Now, this is stuff that I could not reveal when I was a child because my mama, William A. Clark, was old school. She said, what goes on in this house stays in this house. So some of y'all might know that saying. But my dad was a loan shark. So I remember him with a legal pad. And I remember his paydays. Now, my dad was old school, and my mom didn't work once I came along. And when my dad got paid, this is how I grew up. him and my mama would sit down at the kitchen table, and he had his check in cash. Do you know he had all his money laid out on the table? And they would divvy up whatever for the bills and all of that, because I guess my mom was more financially savvy. Even though my dad made the money, she kind of managed the household. Now, when I was little, I grew up in the hood, but very, very sheltered. So I was in the midst of the hood in North Memphis and Memphis, Tennessee, but very, very sheltered. So I grew up thinking I was kind of not rich, but I didn't think I wanted for anything. But now that I grew up, we barely made ends meet from his sanitation worker's salary. So that's why he always had multiple streams of income like I do today. So y'all know me, y'all know I'm always doing something. Right now it's Super Patch, and it's gonna be Super Patch, and I'm gonna be super patching. So get in my inbox if you want me to come out and patch you and all of that good stuff. But anyway, he was a loan shark. So I remember him with his legal pad, and he would lend out $10, $20 to his sanitation workers. They would come to our house. And then I remember on payday, the line was even longer at our house. And he would collect his money plus interest. Oh, and he had another stream of income. Ooh, I couldn't tell this when I was little. He was a bootlegger. He used to take me with him on, well, me and my mom would ride, I think, to the liquor store on Saturday morning. I remember we used to buy them little pints. I always remember Dark Eyed Vodka. Do y'all remember Dark Eyed Vodka? And all sorts of pints. And we would get it by the cases, and we would bring it home. So then he would have his friends come over. I guess certain times in Memphis you couldn't buy liquor. I wanted y'all to see. I'm passing by Rick Rouse's house. Hey, Rick. Y'all can't see it though. Okay. So anyway, he would bootleg liquor. So he did all of these things. So I celebrate my dad that raised me today, Mr. Herbert Clark, on MLK Day. So that's my live today. And I had a chance last night to go by. All right, that's my thing talking to me. Had a chance last night to go to a patching event. So if you or someone that you know needs help with pain, needs help with memory, needs some peace in your life. A lot of people suffer from seasonal depression. If you need help with focus, if you have any children that can't sit still, that might have a little touch of the ADHD or maybe on the spectrum, the peace and focus patch. Let's see, what else do we have? We have 13 different patches. Anyone needs to get rid of an addiction, and I'm not making any medical claims, but any sort of addiction, we have the what we call the Kick It patch. If you scroll up and down my timeline, you'll see testimony after testimony after testimony of different. Samantha made a testimony the other night, and this lady, she was addicted to so many things. She was addicted to cocaine. She was addicted to marijuana. She had a drinking problem. She had a lot of stuff going on. And I don't say that out of judgment. A lot of people, we all have things going on in our lives. And a lot of people, they choose to cope a different way. And a lot of people's bodies are prone to addictions. Like, I may have a cocktail a time or two, but thank God I'm not prone to the addiction part of that. Some people can't put the cocktail down, or can't put the cigarette down, or different things of that nature. But that Kick It patch is bringing life back to people, and from smoking, things of that nature. So we have 13 I have a group I started, a customer group, Patch 1 Million with Tammy. I can send you the link, and you can see the tons and tons of testimonies that we have. Well, y'all have a wonderful MLK Day. Y'all like my shirt? Miss Meetza Henry made my shirt. I volunteered with her at the Hank Stewart Foundation. We did a volunteer event this past, Saturday. Yeah, I'm getting my days mixed up. Saturday, we went out to the nursing facility and blessed some elders. We actually had 5 young ladies that are centurions, 100 years of age or older, and they imparted some wisdom to us about longevity. So that's it, y'all. Have a good day. Bye-bye.